So what we're going to do today is we're going to take part of our quadratic formula, which is the discriminant, and we're going to use it to find the number of roots, or the number of solutions, or the number of x-intercepts. You can have 2, you can have 1, you can have none. Is everybody ready? Okay. Oh, my ham sandwich, Austin. Alright, so we all have our learning target written down. Fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the discriminant to figure out how many solutions we have in a quadratic. And we can have 2, 1, or none. Now the b squared minus 4ac. So this part that is under the radical, it is called the discriminant. It's real estate in the quadratic formula, which means its place or purpose in the quadratic formula. It describes the roots.
What's that word?
Purpose. Oh, Bronson. All right, are we ready? All right, so it says if b squared minus 4ac is positive number, then there are 2 real roots, which means that it looks like this. Now, it gives us an example, and let's prove what our discriminant is. Now, what is a in this quadratic? No, what is a? Just a. A is 3. Good. And what is b? 4. And what is c? Negative 5. So all you do is you take that and you plug it into b squared minus 4ac. So when it asks you for the discriminant, you only use part of it. Does everybody understand? Okay? So we're going to plug this in and we're going to write it as, what are we going to write first? 4 squared minus 4 times
3
times negative 5. Good. Take a point. Now again, all we're doing is we're plugging into part of it this time. We're not plugging into the whole thing. We're not finding what our solutions are. We're finding how many solutions we have. All right, what's 4 squared? 16. What's negative 4 times 3? And what's negative 12 times negative 5? Positive 60. And what are we going to do with the 16 and the 60? Add them, and you get?
76.
Take a point. Now, this is a positive answer, so we have 2 real roots. That's it. That's all you're doing for the discriminant. So you use this to find out how many roots. So use this to find how many roots. Now, if I wanted to know what the roots are, what would we have to do? If I wanted to find out what the roots are, what would we do? What the actual numbers for the roots are? What would we have to use?
Graph.
We could graph, or we could complete the square, or we could use the quadratic formula. Take a point. That's the whole point of what we're doing this part, is using the quadratic formula and the discriminant. So this tells me how many roots. If I want to know what they are, I go back to the quadratic formula. Now, if the answer to b squared minus 4ac is 0, there is only 1 real root. Now, let's prove that. What is a here? A is 1. Because remember, a is the number in front of x squared. All right, what's b? And what's c? 9. Good. Now we're plugging it just into b squared minus 4ac. So what am I going to write first?
1 squared.
6 squared. Why is it 6 squared, not 1 squared? Because that's your b. Good. Tier and Alexia, you get a point. Minus 4 times
1
times 9. Okay? If you answered any part of that, you get a point. Alright, 6 squared is? Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4, and negative 4 times 9 is?
30. Negative 36.
And what's 36 minus 36? 0. Dun, dun, dun. So it's only going to cross the x-axis how many times? 1 time. Can we read our square? Now, if b squared minus 4ac is a negative number, then there are 2 imaginary roots. So does it cross the x-axis at all? No. So this means no roots. So if it's positive, we have how many roots? If it's 0, we have how many roots? And if we have negative, how many roots? What did we just write down? Thank you, Jordan. Take a point. Ham sandwich, guys.
I was reading the 2 imaginary roots.
What is A this time? What is B?
1.
Do we have an X in here?
Oh.
We don't have an X. We have an X squared and we have a constant, but we don't have an X. So B is 0. And what's C? 1. Because remember, our standard form is what? What is standard form of a quadratic?
B squared.
Nope. Look back at your notes from quadratic formula. We wrote standard form on the front in a cloud.
Oh, it's like ax squared. Ax squared plus bx plus 3.
Plus C.
Yes. I don't know why I said 3.
All right, so let's prove this. How am I going to plug it in? For this last one that we're on.
Y equals,
No, guys, I'm just finding the discriminant.
0 squared minus 4 times 1 times 1.
Jordan gets a point because you had to mansplain and yell over her. All right, what's 0 squared? 0. What's... Baby, what are we squaring? What does it say right here?
He's a little off.
All right, negative 4 times 1 is?
1.
Times 1 is?
1.
No, y'all are both wrong. It's negative 4, but cool. And then what's 0 minus 4? Negative 4. And that means we have no real roots. All right, you ready to practice?
Yes.
Flip the page. And then hopefully we'll have time to create these fun little pockets.
Hopefully not. Hopefully get something
We'll have school on Friday.
I know.
You have a teacher school.
No, we don't.
Oh, you don't?
No.
It's the other day, bro.
Too bad you don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, Coach,
So you
you
need to
just
start
started
getting in that track before you say her.
All right, discriminant practice. The directions say for you to stop talking while I'm talking. Determine how many roots each quadratic, spit your gum out right now, has. Troy, do you know writing again?
Oh, yeah. I'd give him the walk of shame.
He did. He did the work and
What are you talking
All right, problem number 1. Are we ready? Y equals 2x squared plus 3x minus 8. Since we just did 3 together, I want you to try this one on your own. We just did 3 together, so I want you to try this one on your own. You tell me, Tater Tot. In a minute, you may. Is anybody not ready? All right, Bronson.
Yeah. I got the answer for the equation. I just didn't do the root. Like I did the work for the equation for the answer for the equation is negative 55. Right?
All right, what is A?
2.
What is B?
3.
And what is C? Okay, and we're plugging it into B squared minus 4AC because we're using the discriminant, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then we say 3 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 8.
I just did the work. I negative.
All right, what's 3 squared? What is negative 4 times 2? And what's negative 8 times negative 8?
64.
Positive 64. Okay, what's 9 plus 64? 73. And the directions say determine how many roots each quadratic has. So I'm going to flip back in my notes because I'm still not quite sure. And I'm going to look for a positive number. This smiley face has a plus, this smiley face has a 0, this thing has a negative. So it's a positive. How many roots do I have?
2.
So I'm going to write down 2 real roots.
You have to put real.
Yes.
Is there fake?
There are imaginary roots when you have a negative square root.
Do we put 2?
You're going to write no real roots.
Everything is possible.
All right, so 2 real roots. How many of us got that at least to the 73? Cool. How many of us wrote down that it had 2 roots? Good job.
No, you wouldn't have got it.
We're going to have faith in him that he could do it. Troy,
What?
No,
Being honest.
who are you whatting, son, first of all?
You see,
Alright, I don't know. I'm pretty good at this.
you see.
All right, B. Oh, let's go crazy.
Because I know you know.
0.2 x squared minus 1.5x plus 2.9 equals, Troy, stop talking. You're doing this one without me. Ava, do you want me to zoom in, babe? Is that better?
Why?
Okay. Because what do quadratics have to be equal to for you to,
So we solve the same way.
yes, darling.
Use your little cheat sheet you just got. Okay.
Make sure.
you want me to come help you, raise your hand. I'll pause the video so it's not just listening to our silence. Negative 0.07, which means how many roots do we have?
0.
No real roots.
We have 2 imaginary ones.
Yes, we have 2 imaginary ones, but no real roots. Awesome. How many of us got that right?
Wait, no roots. I got the no roots.
All right, you guys get a table. You get a table. You get a point. You get a point. You get a point. Did 2 people at your table get it right? Cool. Did 2 people at y'all's table get it right? All right, you get a point.
You heard?
Then you get a point. So do we need to practice raising our hands and learning how to do that again like we're 4?
No. Like the spawn of Satan.
I'm the spawn of Satan? Is that what you just said,
Oh, you
Taylor?
would know. No. So, you submitted to.
All right, 2x. What is wrong with you? 2x squared minus 5x plus 20 equals 0. All right, do this one by yourself, and then I'm going to write down our homework for us. I'll do it for you.
What was it?